In coverage of the Youth Week, we look at the role of young people in sports development. In studio to discuss this is the only female former CEO of the Kenya Premier League at the Kariobangi Sharks. That's Quinta Odongo, just joining me in studio now. And very big welcome to KTN.
Honored to be here.
Yes. So you first only CEO in the Kenya Premier League.
Yes.
And the youngest, I believe.
I think the youngest ever to be.
Yes, ever to be. Those are really big feathers you have in your cap and are to young people. Tell us a bit about your sports journey.
My sports journey didn't start today.
Yeah.
I've been in sports for the last 18 plus years. I've had a chance to have my education through sports. So a flashback is we lived in Maseno, and in that vicinity, you understand, there's Maseno School and Maseno University. So I was fortunate enough to have the facilities around me. So playing with the Maseno boys, and then by the time I was going to high school, I was tough enough to play basketball.
This is football?
No, this is basketball.
Basketball.
Yes. So I joined Bunyere Girls High School playing basketball, and with my talent. Once I finished my high school, I was selected for the UNICEF Talent Academy. That was the premier year of the UNICEF Talent Academy program, which was a very amazing program, but didn't continue to its third year. I joined UNICEF Talent Academy, where you sleep, you play about your sports for 3 months straight. Within the academy, I was selected to play for Western Delights. It's the only basketball ladies team in the Western region that covers Nyanza, Kakamega, and the entire Western and Nyanza region. And then I played for them for about 1 season. While playing for them, I was scouted to join Strathmore University, and that's how I got my first degree basketball scholarship to join Strathmore University.
Wow.
And after that, it's just been turn over turn of opportunities within my journey. Yeah.
So sports has really been, or is really...
It is my life.
It is your life.
It is my life, 100%.
Right. And as we talk about Youth Week, and we know that one of the biggest challenges facing young people in the country is unemployment.
Yes.
And to those who have an interest and are talented in sports, what can you tell them? Is this a field that, they can get in completely and will see them, sustaining themselves?
I think let's get the basic right, that sports has been a platform that can provide employment.
Yeah.
But again, the policies and strategies in place right now does not make sports a safe place for youth employment. Reason why I'm saying that sports right now provides a lot of employment to many youths that don't bare minimum get obligations of employees. All the kids who are within the sports space are seen to be employees, but they don't get the benefits of being an employee. As much as sports employees...
What does that mean exactly? They're not being paid?
It's not about just the payment of your salary in. These are sacrificed their life to be in sports as their nature of their career. And bare minimum, they don't get their retirement benefits. They don't get basics, NHIF, NSSF, procedurals. But at the end of the day, sports has been a platform that employs a lot. Look at the numbers. The Kenya Premier League right now, we're discussing of 2,500 players. Talk of rugby, another 1,000 plus. This is volleyball, we're talking of basketball, and even the sports programs that provide education in this space. We're talking of about 100,000 kids engaged in this space. But there is no future for these youths.
How do we change that? Because that sounds really bad and sad.
It is a sad state, but it is a journey as well in terms of developing proper strategies that provide sustainability and impact. We tend to assume that having a two-day tournament that is providing employment, because at the end of the day, these kids will win a cash award and take it home. What is the future of these kids? We tend to believe that when you take this kid to come and play for us in football, for me, it's a very unique space for me, because I played basketball but did my governance and leadership in football, which was a very big shift. And at my age then, was a very big challenge. But the thing is, when I went into that space, the first thing I did for the club was have a proper salary structure for the students or for the youth who are in that space. The other thing is introduce NHIF for these players. Introduce an SSF for these players. Because you as an employer, as a club, or as a sports institution, you're obligated. You have an obligation to take care of this. But the policies in space right now in Kenya does not hold the clubs and sports institutions accountable for this.
And of course the theme is safe spaces, creating safe spaces for the youth, and that is the safe space that we are talking about.
Yes, sports it's a space where youths can actually do quite a lot and engage and showcase their talent. And if you look at how sports is doing internationally, it is an employing space. It is one of those sectors that can actually dent unemployment. But the policies in place and the structures in place and actually the people managing this programs, institutions, clubs, teams are not open-minded to create it a sustainable space. It is a space, but it's not a safe space for youth.
Right.
No, it's not.
So a big challenge to those in positions of making policies.
It is a big challenge, especially this week that we're talking about, the opportunities available for the youth. Because there's the action of the opportunity being available, but how safe and sustainable is this platform for the youth?
Right. Yeah. And do we have, as a country, effective programs to identify in the first place and nurture and develop sports talents in young people?
I say this everywhere I go, that Kenya has the best structures to identify, develop, and commercialize sports. Because we have the basics. It's kindergarten, primary school, high school, you go to college, then you go to pro. But over the years, we've done this thing separately. The primary school guys are doing the stuff separately. The secondary people are doing the stuff separately. The college guys are on their own space. So these structures are not linked up. So there's no continuity.
Right.
From kindergarten, you're into primary, and there's no studied curriculum for different sports in this space.
Right.
But we have the structures.
Yeah.
The
so
problem
just need
comes
to link it so that there's that from here to point
the
one
execution
to...
through the product.
Right.
Because I mean, the structure is very straight. You go through until college, and that's what is out there. Then you become a pro. But our structure is delinked to the point that our kids get to primary, and once you're in high school, you're scouted to play for either Gor Mahia or Kariobangi Sharks, or you're taken for the rugby team, and you're thinking, okay, this is the end of me. Because our structure does not give our players the
like
reason
a relay
to get,
kind of structure.
It doesn't give our players a reason to get to college. What are the programs in college so that when I get this offer in high school, I still say no. There's a better offer for me in terms of college, university, college or university education program, a student athlete program that can make me get to that point. And that's the reason why a good percentage of our student sports athletes drop off in high school.
And that's really unfortunate.
It is unfortunate for the youth. It's very unfortunate because then again you don't have many options left for you.
Right. And how important is it to have young people at the helm of leadership in sports? Do you think it will change the script? You are the youngest, CEO of Kenya Premier League at the Kariobangi Sharks. How was that experience for you? And do you think that showed you that we need to get more young people, or is it happening?
I think, to be honest, it's the young people who have the solutions to the problems we're going through. Because I went in there, especially having played basketball. I took the club when I was 23. Then. And you're getting into that was pretty young. But I think also I thank God of my physique also, not so many people will figure it out that she's that young. But the thing is, the millennials, the people we are calling the millennials, have the solutions to the problems you have. I went to the club when there are no pretty structures in the club. And by the time I was leaving, it was our first year in the Premier League. We were number 3. Sold a couple of players out. We had a proper structure. Our digital strategy, where it's our thing right now as the youth, we were proper in it. In my time in the club, we were the first club to record our matches, have it live on our social media platforms. Then you remember we had the issue of SuperSport not being able to have the KPL games live, and then people are sitting and thinking, oh, who's the other broadcast partner who's coming to salvage this? But with the innovation that the youth have, we always have solutions to the challenges we're going through.
Right.
I mean, bare minimum right now, you'll see, in my consultancy space right now, you'll see a lot of academies coming up, and everyone has a dream that I want to develop talent, I want to scout, I want to take these kids to the next level, but these programs don't get to the second year. But programs run by youths, Funny enough, they get to the second, third, fourth year.
Right.
Reason being is we're open-minded. We work with the innovation that is in this space.
Right.
Sports is changing and evolving every single day, and very fast.
Yeah.
The reason why we have a lot of issues, and I'm not saying that the old guys in this space are not wise, but the reason why we have a lot of issues in the sports place is we are rigid and stuck to this is how we used to do things. You're too young, we've done this for 40 something years, you know. How about why should we change it now?
Right.
And that is what is killing sports in Kenya.
And lastly, as we finish, what is the one overarching thing that you say needs to be done to see that one sport is thriving in the country, especially in the space for young people?
I think it's bare minimum that we get our policies and strategies right in this space. We are in a generation where things are evolving and innovation is picking up and everything is changing. And we understand that Kenya is a sports powerhouse. So how are we channeling our investments into this space to actually create real impact and ensure that these programs are sustained over the years? Because take a scenario of the UNICEF program. UNICEF program, my camp, we were about more than 200 students, and they used to take in players every 3 months. Imagine if, now is about 9 years since they started that program, if only that program was sustained to this extent, how many players would it have impacted?
Right.
And the other bit is, while we are coming together as an outfit, sports outfit, this is what they do. What policies are you putting in place to hold them accountable?
Right.
Like, to be honest, our Kenyan Premier League right now is unfortunate to have that our players don't get the bare minimum. And these are the youth we're saying. So how are we using sports to dent unemployment if the bare minimum of what it takes to be an employee is not implemented in this space?
There's agitation towards that end?
There is agitation. Our players are coming up. There's more of capacity building that is happening in this space. Right. And I'm sure once we impact our players with the knowledge, our federations, our union leaders, our club leaders will not have an opinion or a choice. They will just have to conform to what the players want. And my opinion is, let's empower the players as much as possible. However young the students are, you never know where they'll end. They might be me, lead a team at a very young age. There might be someone else who, there might be the next Wanyama out there. There might be Helen Ombiri out there. So at the end of the day is, while we are channeling investment into sports, my challenge to the people in these positions is, how are you ensuring that these investments are sustainable and have impact to the youth?
Fantastic. That's a great place to wind up. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Helen, for having me around.